I got some live. How you guys doing? This may be a stupid rant. I may delete it, but just in case it needs to be said, I'm going to go ahead and do this rant. I want it to be about semi-religious, but kind of partly. I've heard a guy say on the Mormon, giving his testimony in the Mormon church, or that being the natural man is bad. He needs to be a Christian man, or whatever the non-natural good thing is to be. And I have haters and Christian haters that have called me the natural man, as if that's a bad thing, i.e. non-Christian, And as a third reference, I want to say that I by the way, in 1983, I was 16 years old, and I loved the series The Thornbirds that came out with. It starred Rachel Ward, and it starred Richard Chamberlain. I didn't realize Richard Chamberlain was gay until way after this, so I thought he was so cool, And it was called The Thornbirds. The Thornbirds. It was a mini series, so it was on every night for a few nights as part of a extended show, and I really got into it. It's really cool, I thought. And so Richard Chamberlain played a priest who falls in love with Rachel Ward, and Richard Chamberlain goes to Richard Chamberlain plays Ralph de Brickassaw, and Rachel Ward plays Maggie, and Ralph de Brickasaw's counselor, elder in the church is Father Victorio. I just remember that. And he's going to, there's some scenes where he's talking to Victorio about, failing God and being asked to fail and all that. And Victorio's wiser than him, so he's going to Victorio for answers and counseling and help. And he goes, and Richard Chamberlain says to Victorio, he says, "You're asking me to fail." And Victorio says, "No, I'm asking you to choose." And then Victorio says these cool lines that I still remember to this day from watching this when I was 16 years old. He goes, "In order to truly be a priest, one must first be a man. You cannot truly be a priest until you acknowledge this, that one is first a man." Like you can't be anything. Priest, baseball player, guitar player, rock star, actor, engineer. You can't be anything until you acknowledge and are comfortable with who you are, which is a man in the first place, if you're a man. And that's exactly what I've kind of done with myself. I'm the natural man. Yeah, that's a bad thing in Christianity. That means I'm not obedient to Christ, and I haven't humbled my body and made it like a slave. And what's Romans 12:1 say? Slow down. Hi guys, you guys are good. You guys are good boys. Yes, you are. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present yourself a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is a reasonable service, or something like that. No, I haven't done that. But what does Paul say? He says, I keep the body in subjection, I pummel the body, or something like that. And he says something like, oh God, what's his words? I'm just doing this by memory. Anyway, it's not coming to me, but all the things Paul said about, something about, controlling. Oh, he says, I would that I do this, but I do this, and I would not sin, and I sin. Who can save me from the body of this death? He's always wrestling with his body and trying to pummel my body and keep it in subjection, lest I, after preaching it to others, shall be cast away. Like he's always concerned, and that's cool if that's his thing, but it's not my thing. I'm a natural man. I'm healthy. But I acknowledge that. I'm honest about that. I'm not hiding that. I'm not acting like that's not true. Well, yes, it is, and you're going to find out some other way later. I'm just honestly a natural man, and that's just how I am. But I'm honest about it, and I've got other good qualities besides just that about me. I have other qualities that I also have, that I have as well, and I don't see there's wrong with that right now. I'm healthy. I'm natural. Which of those two words is wrong or bad or not good? What's wrong with being healthy? What's wrong with being natural? But I'm also loving. And I also make effort, and I also have an open mind, and I also have, I have compassion. I have an open heart. I just do. But I'm not trying to, I don't know how to say it all the way I'm trying to say it, but I seek good energy. I seek to help people. I seek good for people. I give people good energy. I often give more people more energy, more of my energy. That's more of my good energy to others than I give to myself, in fact. And that's not unlike what Jesus did. I'm not saying I'm Jesus, of course, but he didn't go around making sure he was healthy all the time, or he would help others. He would heal others. Someone would touch his cloak and he would feel energy leaving him. I literally have energy leave me sometimes when I give people energy for stuff, and often it works out. I tell somebody, okay, I'm going to give that energy, and I mean it. I give it energy, and yes, that works out for them, and yes, that takes energy from me. I feel energy leaving, and yes, I have to go to my quiet place and recharge. For Jesus, it was the mountains, or the whatever. For me, it's my hippie room. I'm a bedroom where I listen to music DVDs. I literally recharge. And then when I feel like it's time to do this or that, I do this or that. But I don't tax my body. I don't push my body to do things they're not supposed, not designed for, or overdo it. But I'm also not lazy. I also don't do nothing. That's bad too. If I just don't use it or lose it type of thing. Inertia. If you don't do anything, you're going to tend to keep doing nothing. I even learned that in last Sunday school at the Mormon church. That was part of the lesson. See, I did listen and I did attend. It was about if you're gaining spiritual progress, you tend to continue to gain spiritual progress. If you're losing spiritual progress, you tend to continue to lose spiritual progress. Well, that goes with a lot of things, I suppose. But yes, I remember that lesson, and yes, I was listening, and okay. Like Victoria was saying, I'm natural first. Anything else has to come after that, and after that it's acknowledged, which it is, and then I make my choices. And yes, I've made videos. I've made 2 already where I say that I realize that that God is better than me. God made me. If there's a God, and that automatically makes him above my pay grade. He is better than me. He's cooler than me. He's more badass than me. He's hipper than me. Well, but I'm still only me. I still can only make my choices with what I have, and I still am not perfect. And I make choices that I feel are right for me, God or no God. But still, realizing that about God is progress, and that's what I was going to call my friend about the other day, which I got lost all the missed friends. It's fine, whatever. But that's all I was going to say to her. I was just going to tell her that breakthrough. Anyway, maybe guys.